Hello. I don't have a mic ready yet. I hope I'm quite audible. It's gonna be ready soon. Let's check. So I'm going to write a sign, which I'm going to show in the background still, besides having this very well made background. And questions already can come up to your mind. You can ask me anything. I can start a debate with you. We can discuss peaceful prevention of suffering in the world. Yeah. So I'm thinking the sign could be extinction or end of suffering equals causing extinction. What do you think? Yeah. Going to set the studio for the live stream debates. Practice. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I don't have a mic on right now, but the background is visible. Yeah. Almost set. Yeah. Thank you. Restricted user. Okay. What do you think should be on the banner here? It's gonna look good. Maybe extinction can prevent all suffering. Something that would be what do you think? Can we start debating maybe? I'm going to invite people to co-host, I think. Can you maybe come up? Am I talking to Dominic? I'm probably hardly heard. Yeah, I'm gonna get the mic. And soon we can start live stream discussions. Yeah, debate how to end all suffering. Forcefully causing total extinction of every life is the only possible right thing to do, as it ends all suffering. There's realistically nothing else that can solve any suffering in the world. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to debate you in a second. I'm going to get my mic because I'm probably yeah. Okay. Thank you for waiting. Hello.
Yo, hello.
How
How
are
you
you?
doing? I'm all
Well,
good. Yeah, I just have like a question because I sort of like understand your point of view, but I don't fully agree with it, you know? So my first question is like, how big is this movement right now, like in terms of membership?
it's a group organization that's exponentially growing. So we just need to progress the scientific method and the societal social justice progress, support, develop it, because only the result of zero suffering matters. What do you think?
Uh, well, look, personally, I can't see this ever becoming a political movement. It's just impossible. Like, even if,
Why?
because there would just be such fierce opposition, because such a radical belief as ending all life is a, it's not very popular.
Well, you could be
Very extreme.
surprised about what's really
Whew, this is
what's
like,
really changing in the world.
jeez,
Have you been
not
in a
much,
social
but
justice movement before? Do you think
no. I
slavery
mean,
would be abolished if people didn't start fighting against the problem that's the extreme inevitable suffering? Do you think it would be better if people didn't start just doing activism to support the outcome of no more suffering at any cost?
yeah, but like personally, I kind of like being alive. Like, I actually really enjoy it. So I wouldn't want to like
Yeah, at
support
the
something.
expense of animal children getting raped and tortured to death. That's what's
Yeah, but
going
I
on in
don't
the
care.
world.
That's look. That's we
We don't
can
care about
campaign
your
to
opinion
end that.
about ending suffering then. Who cares about what's gonna happen
Well,
then
this is the
to
problem.
your pleasure,
If
your good
this is
life?
like, if this is how you're going to debate, no one's ever going to get anywhere. At least let's find some middle ground. Like,
Thank you for
obviously, you
coming
can
up.
campaign to. Oh, okay. Have a
I'm
nice day.
gonna remove you now. Thanks.
Hmm.
That was some, well, not very thought out argument. I suppose you can join more discussion at our Abolish Suffering Discord from the contacts at our page. Is anyone having really any argument against developing against suffering? Progressing the pro-extinction social justice movement. Thank you, Chris. Not much likes I see in the questions because I really appreciate you asking questions, and that's even more than sharing the live stream or liking it. I think we need more arguments for progressing our cause, not just, you know, feeling what's going on. I'm going to share with you the recordings after to, I think maybe upload to YouTube soon. Starting it. I'm going to invite James to co-host. James, I'd eat one. Where is the function of inviting a co-hoster? I have no idea. No moderators. Hello. Anyone to support me? Well, support the movement, I guess. If you're here, anything productive would help. I'm trying to learn to speak better than not speaking. Yeah. Need to drink water. Yeah, I forgot I was going to make the sign. Maybe something very short. To just show it like, yeah. Does anyone here have any argument or just wants to watch my face or something? What's wrong with you? Okay, I'm gonna share it to James now. Oh, a question I'm gonna read. Wait a second. Request a co-host. How do we prevent and rape against women and girls because it's becoming a regular occurrence? It's not becoming It has been from the beginning of sentience, of animals experiencing suffering, rape too. Then sentient beings have been suffering ever since they came into existence. It's not an issue about what the victims have the traits, whatever are the traits of the victims or where they emerged. It's the problem that's inherent to the experience of living beings. Do you think it could be ended when just some group would be protected? We have to protect every group that's capable of experiencing suffering. That's why we must support the outcome of zero suffering at any cost. That's why total extinction is the only right thing to develop towards by the scientific method. And we need social justice support because of that intelligence can achieve that. We cannot just wait for any natural rock to fall down, take its curse. It's the only intelligent thing to do, to work towards. Hello, true versus Bible. Truth versus Bible. Yeah. There's nothing rational about religion. How do we want to achieve our goal? Yeah, by growing the social justice movement support, then progressing the science so that we're certain how the method of the total extinction can be achieved 100%. Because we have scientific theories that support that, you can read into our resources at our web page. But of course, it's not going to happen without the intelligent intervention. Not intervening is the worst crime that's happening. Really, intelligence not taking the right action is the worst part of humanity. True evil. Yeah, so the system of life is the problem. It's the only evil thing in the world. The capable of experiencing suffering need protection at any cost against the evil that is suffering, inevitable as long as sentient beings, so animals, possible extraterrestrial animals evolving from bacteria or what has been found, and humanity too. No one deserves to ever suffer. I see we have some more guests still. Maybe someone is waiting in the chat to debate. Would you maybe come up? Wielka Eminencja. Some more people could come up. Yeah. I refuse to believe you have nothing on your mind. Yeah, I was going to make the sign, but I didn't make it before the live stream, so I guess I'm gonna just focus on maybe looking at our webpage. And yeah, planning more projects. What steps would our movement take to ensure that nobody has to experience any suffering? What steps? First step, of course, is to grow the intelligence support. The artificial intelligence is not going to emerge from trees or grow out of evolution without humanity. So we have to find the people that are in support, so are rational enough to get educated more. It's like 90% genetics. Right now I can't, but in few minutes I can debate. Okay, thank you. Only God has the right to do what you propose. Okay, then call me God. Thank you. And suffering. Hello. Invite. What a shame that James isn't active right now. Well, I'm still trying. Yeah. So the core problem, recognizing the reality of suffering. Of course, most of our society is far behind yet. That's why probably the guests here think it's a good idea to point that out as a proof for why our movement is not needed. But there's really no other solution, so still, the only right thing to do is to fight for zero suffering in the world. Who injected these ideas in your mind? Well, it was my environment, mostly observation. And I found out that other people also were rational enough to join me through the internet, through the pro-extinction on YouTube. It's pro... what's the name of this sign? Pro the down sign... pro-extinction on YouTube. Yeah. Hello, thank you, Stan. Jarzynowa ulica joined. So, yes, our movement is working to achieve this at any cost. To end the cycle of suffering everywhere possible in the cosmos. Can you elaborate on that, Marty boy, in the chat? Or maybe request a discussion, it would be more easy. I'm trying. Well, it's like a second live stream on this account, I think. Yeah. And can you propose maybe what could be on the sign I'm trying to make? Maybe something that will stand out more than the background. I don't know what would be the catching word. Of course, maybe I can make the infographic that's on our webpage manifesto, the first thing. Yeah. Yeah, let's try writing it. So, birth. Leads to suffering. Leads to reproduction, towards the birth, towards the suffering. With James. Yeah, I'm trying to right now, even maybe you can DM him more. Let's talk. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, what can you repeat what you? How did you come to this conclusion that mass extinction is the only solution for suffering?
Yeah. It's not a mass extinction. We mean that our pro-extinction social justice movement is advocating for the total eradication of the system of life, which leads to inevitable suffering. Every capable of emerging extremely bad experiences components should be eradicated because it's the only problem in the world. What else do you think could solve any suffering in the world?
So, it's all based on your feelings, right?
Not my feelings. There are countless sentient beings, especially wild animals. They deserve the most consideration because they're the majority.
Do you think that wild animals are as sentient as humans?
Yes, even more.
How did you come up to that conclusion?
It's a scientific proof for that. The Declaration on Sentience by New York something, I forgot. Maybe I'll send later so you can see for yourself or do your research. That even
But just because a bunch of scientists came up with some paper doesn't mean it's true. You know, you can't trust everything you find.
Yeah. Can you trust your own judgment then? What's your proof for that we shouldn't prevent bad experiences for everybody?
You know, I have suffered in my life a lot, but I still want to live a lengthy life, and I don't want any,
Well, we're
anyone to
not
tell me
trying to
that I
stop
need to.
that. We're not taking that away from you.
So
But we
what is
don't
this?
care for what's your reason for prolonging the extreme victims, because we must end the child rape from happening for the victim, not for the rapist. We don't care what happens to
So go
those who have
after,
pleasure.
yeah, go after those evil people that cause the suffering. Like, for example, in the Middle East, that there is a bunch of slaves in there, like in Palestine,
How
Israel,
can you differentiate?
Iran.
How can you even differentiate who's the who's the oppressor in a world where we're all determined to inevitably suffer? Does even a rapist deserve to be born just to be closed in a prison for their whole life? Because it's the system we're forced to endure, that everyone is forced to suffer and die. Does anyone
Yeah.
really
Well,
deserve that?
why don't
How
you just
can you
accept?
make it safe
Why
for
don't you just
anybody?
accept that life is like that? Life is not just
Oh, what
pleasure.
a sadistic argument. Thank you for showing your true face. I'm a bit overheated right now. The fan is not working that well. What possible action would your movement take to stop every government from funding wars and holocausts? Yeah, so the entire system of life is the largest holocaust, and it's still going on from the beginning of time of all life that's capable of experiencing suffering. So we're exactly the only movement that's really working to end all holocausts and all wars. It's the only potential action that can help anybody. The pro-extinction social justice movement, the universal extinctionist support and scientific progress. Can you name even one thing that could prevent all the systems that sustain extremely bad experiences from going on? What can prevent it? What can make sentient beings safe? What is that wouldn't cause extinction of every sentient being? Bullshit movement. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot when your words are backwards. There is more truth of others' suffering than there is to the moral idea of that's how life is. Suffering is objective and real and is bad because you yourself don't want to suffer. Exactly. That's the same for us, sentient beings. Everybody, every one of us matters. We have to fight for our best interest, and that must include all sentient beings. You have no idea what you joined. I started it. What are you talking about, mate? I think your philosophy is interesting, but are you aware that it's completely impossible to stop life? Blow my mind. How? Forever, since life would just start again and eventually evolve into sentient beings again. We must ensure so that there's no more reproduction merging to suffering, reproduction of birth of suffering. That's the only problem from the beginning of time. Did I start the movement? No, I'm not the first. I am just another one in the way. I think Steve Aditya raised me really well. Or Aditya, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Answer? What answer? I didn't catch that slang, sorry. Earth question. Life probably exists also on other planets. Exactly, that's why we're in favor of universal scale prevention of suffering. We have to reach as far as practically possible through the cosmos, so that no more suffering emerges anywhere. Doesn't matter where it happens. Oh, there's some question about entertainment. One Piece. Oh, someone in the queue. Someone who was really badly spoken. Maybe type the argument in the chat yet. Maybe I'll reconsider. What if there are species that don't experience suffering in the galaxy? We don't care for them as much as we don't care for those who don't suffer on Earth. We just care for preventing suffering. What else is there to add? Yeah, the system, the problem. The system, the problem. The problematic system. Can I like my own life? I can't. Under existence, join me. Yeah. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be visible, I think. Thank you for being here on the live stream, although what's there to appreciate about you? What are you trying to do in the world? Are you actually achieving anything? Because there's nothing that can help anybody that doesn't cause total extinction. I think I'm mixing up Polish words in my mind. Let me know if I'm hardly understandable. You think any life form you can eliminate experience? Plasma life. There's a lot of research to do, of course. We have to find out how life emerged and can emerge from other components than on Earth, because we're just not the center of the universe. I feel like this camera is too far up. Don't be so tall. Yeah, this weather is unacceptable, especially when imagine yourself being the wild animal without shelter, without any progressed by science, society, technological support. That's just pure, effectively hell. We're in the worst conditions imaginable. There's nothing that can ensure safety for life anywhere. Every environment that sustains experience that's capable of suffering is just evil. The only problem that we must focus on, like attention to the problem. Can you name anything else that matters? Nothing else matters. It starts from the emergence of the suffering life, birth of the cycle of suffering. Yeah, it's like an endless circle. The suffering is infinite as long as reproduction and sentient beings exist. No. That's fine. Hello, Timothy. Do you have any question? Can anyone bring up any relevant argument? Any reason for why you're not fighting for extinction right now? What are your activism ideas? Yeah, I'm getting frustrated very easily right now. You can leave if you're just here for your entertainment. I really don't care. Just any reasonable point that you can show across. You can later maybe even do a following up short video exchange, because it's only the relevant progress towards eliminating all suffering, preventing the greater suffering, that matters, because the consequences for the victims, not if you have any reasons, we'll find out if you're on the oppressor's side. Yeah, as the BW says, another oppressor shown up. Ah, you're saying that no life without suffering. Yeah, so that's a good point. I misread that first. Someone with swirly science says, does suffering have moral significance? You're out of this world, something like this? Really? Have you not observed wildlife? Have you not observed society? But experiences are the only problem to solve for everybody. Something. Okay. Yes. What does suffering mean? That's a somewhat better question. So also on our site you can visually maybe imagine it more, suffering in detail, especially wild animal suffering. So imagine being torn apart from your inside outs by starvation, or being slowly tortured to death by predation. That's the suffering that we especially oppose in this world. So the outcome of total extinction only can solve it. Until you prove me wrong. And develop a better movement to prevent suffering from re-emerging ever again, everywhere possible in the cosmos. Of course, suffering from empathy counts, I guess. Empathy. So yeah, suffering in detail on pro-extinction.com. That's something at least those who haven't came out of their house should learn first. Is there any way to talk? Yes, you can request, unless it's got restricted. Oh, hello. Do you want to speak in Polish or English? You're not audible yet, or also. Hello? I can
Can you
hear
hear me?
some noise.
I
Yeah.
had like some problems with internet.
Do you have a question? An argument?
Hi. Hello.
Hi?
Okay. Okay. So you hear me? Now you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry because I don't have a good mic, so
Yeah, me too.
my voice can be heard badly. Before when you yeah. Uh, what is the point if nobody gonna feel the benefits? Because in my view, when we do something, uh, even when we cannot experience it, we at least should like for the future generations or something like that. Because if there is nobody to feel the benefits, there is no point in anything. Because if you don't live, you don't feel anything,
Yeah.
you don't
Your
see the
logic.
difference between is there is suffering or is there no suffering, because you are just like
But you're in
an
safety
object
there. Only then
doesn't think,
there's
doesn't feel
possible
anything.
safety. Because in life
So this
then
is my point that like
there doesn't
I don't see
exist any.
I just don't see the point in what.
Yeah, so your point was that you care for that, you experience the peace, the lack of suffering, but that's really not rational. That's as rational as some kid wishing to not get cancer while they're at their third stage, and it's really not the priority problem solving because we
Me or
in reality
something else?
in reality we don't have the means to stop everyone from suffering without everyone going extinct. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand it, but I talk about the hypothetical situation where we
Yeah, we
have
don't
the
care
means
about
to stop.
such we don't care about such out of reality
Uh,
questions. You can ask if what
I
if
care.
the freedom from One Piece would come true
That
in
that
reality. That doesn't solve anything. Thanks for coming up. That's not a real argument. That's really no way of looking at helping the victims because only their perspective matters so that no more bad experiences can ever emerge. We have to focus on helping all victims at any cost. Going into politics, social justice support, progressing the necessary realistic science, just not thinking about what if there. I even forgot what was the exact question. Something about the potential for peace in life without any proof, evidence, realistic base for that. Someone is saying that everyone can end their own suffering. That's very out of touch from reality. Can you say that to a slowly getting tortured puppy or animal getting rotten alive in a mud in some wild environment that they can just provide euthanasia to themselves without any science, without any progressed societal support, any really you have no imagination. Aren't we trying to eliminate the gene between angel and human? What the fuck? is that? Okay, there are some questions yet. You cannot objectively ground morality, therefore you can't... What? I don't understand this nonsense. Yeah, you're saying kill those suffering animals. We say euthanize all the potential sufferers to prevent the greater suffering. Yeah, you say we wouldn't be able to feel the benefits of ending suffering. Does it matter when you're no longer suffering? Our attempt to value life to a point where we want no more suffering and then make the absurd. Yeah, if you really value life, you would be in favor of extinction. Because any other value you can name is just shit. It's meaningless. We will help everybody. We're in favor of helping everybody by progressing the universal extinctionist development. We are in favor of delivering the necessary cure, the solution. Humanity is the solution because we're the only we're the intelligence that can develop the outcome of zero suffering. So we have to progress the necessary support and science, then that must be extinctionist, unless you really show good enough proof. Statement that life itself can be foregone for the sake of ending the suffering of it. Okay. Yeah. What's a contradiction, Tollens? I'm 18 years old. What? Bit extreme now? Suffering is what's extreme. Is the everybody's real suffering that's going on in the world and the potential sufferers that are going to re-emerge through the reproduction life and the inevitable bad experiences are innate to the biological system of life. So naturally, we must be determined to prevent the greater suffering if we're intelligent enough. If we're going to be intelligent in the end, we have to progress the pro-extinction social justice movement. Are any arguments that you can accept or not? What? So, are you asking what argument would be acceptable against total extinction of every life? That would be, I can answer you this, that would be the proof that all suffering can be ended with their 100% certainty without emerging ever again. We would have to have something like infinite knowledge for that and re-engineer every life from their total base of every biological structure, but it's not realistic without causing euthanasia for every life, without sterilizing all environments. So much confusing questions. I am a human. Yeah. Someone is spamming if my family is pro-extinction. Yes, they are. My family is pro-extinction. I'm not against it, drastic but a solution nevertheless. If you're not against that, you have to rationally work with us. Because, growing the support, it has to be active. You being passively just living your life are allowing the suffering, therefore causing the suffering to continue for billions of years more prolonged. Because not intervening is equal to being on the side of the oppressor. That is the nature of life itself. I have shitter net, I agree. You can also research in our contacts the Abolish Suffering Discord, where there are more activists willing to debate anytime too. And, of course, collaborate for better activism, progressing the social justice movement. Someone requested a debate. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't been checking the queue. So, Tollens, welcome.
Hey,
Hi.
so why do you think that the amount of suffering outnumbers the amount of non-suffering?
When someone is suffering, there is no other way that they can choose. Either you're suffering or you're not suffering, but we care only about the sufferers, so preventing them at any cost is the only thing that matters in the world, so we're developing the universal extinctionist social justice movement.
Yeah,
What
I
are
don't
you
think
in support of? What are you in support of?
I am not in support of what you're doing. I think it's irrational.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so my observation is that most people that are alive choose to stay alive. If the suffering was as bad as you think, we would see people taking their own lives much more often, don't you think?
Well, the majority are wild animals, and you are not really looking at the victims when you're saying the people that are suffering, not taking their lives, they are so afraid of suffering that they're not willing to take the risk of getting disabled their whole life, probably, and being a half vegetable until they slowly are allowed to die, finally. What do you think can help any victim in this world? What is your way to approach the only problem in the world that is everybody's extreme suffering, especially
So,
wild animals?
okay, so you're more focused on animals. You agree with me that your conclusion is invalid for humans. So you just want to
No,
destroy all humanity for animals?
I don't discriminate against anyone. We shouldn't discriminate against anyone based on what are their characteristics, don't you think? So doesn't matter where the victims can emerge, doesn't matter what is their appearance, only matters ending suffering. So, of course, humanity has to go last, because it's the only artificial way, it's the only rationality, intelligence that can achieve any problem solving.
What evidence do you have that there's a gratuitous suffering on animals?
Read the suffering in detail page on our website, pro-extinction.com. There's so much suffering going on in this world and people don't even budge to observe. Do your research, please, before coming up to spew some nonsense. Oh my days, I need some more moderators in the chat. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to accept you now. Plinko.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick right now.
I hear you.
I just have a question. Why do you think... So, do you think it's a good idea to kill yourself because you don't want to clean your room?
What the fuck? Yeah, the mess that's in reality the problem that we must focus on is everybody suffering extreme bad experiences, children getting raped, tortured, starving, suffocated, extreme suffering, and you're here to point out such nonsense. Well, thanks for comedic relief, I guess. It was Friday. Can I accept you? Waiting for the guest to join, so you left. Lucas, waiting for the guest to join. Okay. How long have I been live streaming? It has been 50 minutes. Wow. So much misunderstanding about what total extinction means. So, the pro-extinction movement is in favor of causing total prevention of suffering. That's why we're against ending our own suffering first. Of course, we're in favor of having the best life possible as we work for it. We're just normal people that are working for solving the only problem in the world, solving the real problem in the world. J freaking R is saying, why would you want to eliminate all suffering? Suffering is part of life, it makes life worth living. You see, suffering, the extremely bad experience, is something that makes life not worth living. You have not really understood what are the perspectives of the victims, I see. Sufferers deserve the best possible, the realistic way possible, and delivering euthanasia for everybody is the way to go about it. Wow, the chat is very active. I'm sorry I'm not keeping up. Oh. So immovable right now, yeah. Okay. Oh, someone requested? Hello. Hello, GYLIA.
Hello?
Hi.
How's it
I can
going?
hear you.
That's good to know. That's good to know. How's it going?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well that's all right. Has anyone ever told you that you've got a face only a mother could love?
What's the relevant point to this discussion?
Because you are one ugly fucker.
Okay, thanks for giving your
Do
opinion
you
to
agree?
us. Shaniqua Queen, hello? Are you a troll or do you have a meaningful point you can type in the chat too?
Hey, widow, white girl.
Do you have a point?
Yeah. So, okay, this is the movement, right? Are you going to start, or what? Or are you just talking?
You are a troll again. If you have any meaningful question, typing in the chat is always welcome. I don't really like direct messages. If you suffer in this life, it means you were God's punished. What the hell? please seek medical professional help from psychiatry or a psychologist. Get therapy. You should not believe in your delusions. It's difficult to talk. So, have you ever heard of the concept of coping or manning up? Can you explain the second one to me? I'm not sure what you mean by pointing that out, but only the outcome that can prevent the greater suffering matters. As always. So we have to focus on the present and take the realistic actions for future most thorough and vast prevention of suffering by total extinction. Everything else, everything less than that, causes only more suffering, only more reproduction of the birth, suffering, reproduction cycle. Someone requested a chat, I think. Hello, Infidel.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Right, so why are you against all types of suffering?
Because all types of suffering mean bad experience. Why
Okay.
are you pointing that out?
Well, yeah, so I think that forcefully ending human existence is immoral.
We're not about human existence here, you see. Because everybody's suffering matters. Mostly animals exist in this world with suffering. So we have to work for the total prevention of suffering everywhere possible in the cosmos. We are
What?
not in favor of making the privilege of humans having their relief first.
Yeah, there seems to be a goal. Like you value humans not having suffering, correct?
Also,
Great. So, do you also value like the positive experiences humans have?
positive by what?
Yeah, like somebody loves their mother and has a great experience having that type of relationship. Do you think that's something you value?
Yeah, that's something temporarily valuable to that person. Doesn't matter. It doesn't concern outweighing the goal of preventing the greater suffering.
Or how did you determine that the greater suffering is much greater than the positive experiences humans have?
Bad experiences are just more valuable, you know. When you are extremely suffering, it doesn't matter how the other person has the pleasure from what's happening to their life or from observing you or whatever. Sustaining the system, this sadistic, this irrational system, is the problem we must solve for everybody. It's not something to take so lightly by saying that any other value that's not preventing what's bad, what's the problem, should be focused on. Yeah, we want to put everyone to sleep, to peace. What about you? Are you going to unalive everyone except yourself? What? Why would I ever do that? That's just unreasonable. Yeah, it seems like the previous person was trying to convince me of that, but that didn't work. Getting tortured severely is way worse, and you only know this if you experienced chronic pain. Well, you could say that life enables inevitable chronic suffering because it's something that we cannot ever avoid when there are reliefs. For some people, it doesn't matter. Only those who experience the most suffering should get prevented at any cost. So we always favor those who are chronically suffering, to relieve everyone of chronic problem of life. Anyone who says suffering can be outweighed by max pleasures has never felt chronic physical pain. Yeah, there are many types of pain, suffering that are intolerable. Any suffering, we must oppose everything that's causing bad experiences, so that the goal of total extinction is the only thing we must support, work towards, grow the universal front to end all suffering, the anti-suffering movement, pro-extinction. That's what we named it. There's nothing else that works for it unless you can invite them. I would love to have that chat. Yeah, resorting to some positive experiences. I would say now that what's a positive experience only has the consequence of, like, you could say that truly good experience must have the consequence of total extinction. So only the extinctionists have the privilege of having good experience. I hope I'm getting my point across. My English is not so good yet. A lot of comments. I'm struggling to keep up. Have I shared it here? Yes. Show of the background, maybe? One goal, one heart, one humanity, and ending all suffering everywhere possible. Yeah, that's our introduction, our goal. What we must work towards at any cost, whatever it takes. People are pointing out that we're already doing something with our diet if we're not vegetarian. You really think what's going on in the slaughterhouses is euthanasia that's really preventing any suffering? Of course it's better than what's going on in the wild, but it doesn't solve anything. It's part of the fallible system. Total extinction prevents the cruelties, the random cycle of reproduction, and unnecessary evil. Yeah, that's a fact. Hope I said it correctly. Maybe it's stumble, whatever. Yeah, life is pointless when suffering is part of it. That's the reality we live in. The dystopia, effectively hell, you would say. That's James E. once says, I guess. Something in his habit. No, we must not wipe out humanity to end all suffering. Humanity is not the problem. Humanity is the solution. It's really no use. It's no intelligence that can word total prevention of suffering. There's no bigger wrong than allowing torture to continue to get reproduced in this cycle of life. That's the problem. Life equals the problem, the evil. What about the aliens? Well, we have to reach them not in the sense you understand, because the alien life has been found from microorganisms, so they might evolve into suffering animals or something. That must be prevented at any cost, equally to the animal world, the human and all sentient victims that have been found on Earth. Extremely danger. Such problems like starvation, predation, disease, torture, the suffering. Everybody's suffering must be ended at any cost. That's why we formed the pro-extinction social justice movement. Oh, some other questions there? Yeah, I don't see much going on yet. Thank you for coming here today. I guess I'm going to end today's live stream. It was a good one. I'm going to upload to Against Suffering YouTube maybe. We'll let you know in a post it probably. So follow up or get out.